Y se empieza la grabación también.
Okay, and I'm pressing start.
Y empezamos.
And so now please select what you would like to hear. Hi, Anna. We're setting up language interpretation right now. So if you can click the globe icon to select the language you want to hear, that would be good.
Que seleccionen su lenguaje.
Okay, can folks in the English channel hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. And then, is there anyone that needs any help in the phone? And I'm gonna ask that if folks are not speaking, to turn on so that we focus the content of the sentence. For you, you're currently giving a lot of feedback, so I'm gonna mute you. Oh, I think that's the screen actually. I'm gonna mute you. Okay, perfect. So similar to last class, we're gonna start first by giving a land acknowledgement. So the practice of land acknowledgement is an offering to deeply engage with our collective space, place, history, and positionality with the intention of centering indigeneity. So last time I dropped into the chat a guide that will help you locate which native lands that you are occupying. And I won't drop the link this time in the chat just because I know we got a little confused last time with links and getting back to the Zoom screen. So I'll refrain from doing that this time around. But just for context, if you are in San Francisco, you are on Ramaytush Ohlone lands. If you are joining us from Oakland, that is Chochenyo Ohlone, Ramaytush Ohlone, and Lisjan territory. And so I'll give us a second to deeply reflect on our own relationship to the land. And this is an offering to combat colonialism and to see it as an active process that affects our consciousness even to the present day.
My name is Regina Lynn, and I am on occupied, stolen, Ohlone, and Chochenyo land. I acknowledge I am a guest here.
Thank you for that offering. Really? This is Bisma speaking. Would anyone else like to share either in the chat or out loud their land acknowledgement? I see that Anna is joining us from Ohlone, Mexico, and Chinese that worked on the railroad. Okay, well, thank you everybody for taking those moments of reflection internally or with us in community. I'm going to move on to the next part of the presentation, which is our community agreements, with the addition that Rebecca gave us at the end. So I will read through them right now for us to remember. No bigotry, hate, or slander will be tolerated. Assume positive intent. All truth is truth. Take space, make space. And I'm going to stress this one. So just to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to speak, please be conscious of how much space you might be taking up in question, because someone else will to share that as well. Vegas rule, which is what's learned here leaves here, but what is said here stays here. So names stay, but lessons go. Each one, reach one, teach one. Ask permission to inquire after a share. Practice self and community care. One mic, one voice. And we'll have a little bit more rules on how to implement this over a Zoom call in the coming slides. Correct with care. Don't assume knowledge. If you use academic jargon, please explain the terms. And appreciate cultures through community. And I'll hold for space if anyone wants to add any more community agreements with us. All right, and so with that, I'm going to proceed. So this time around, based on suggestions and feedback from last time, we're gonna introduce a stack speaking etiquette style to allow everyone to participate fully. So in order to determine the order of who will speak after, if you have a question or a comment while the presentation is happening, please write your name in the chat to determine the order, or if that's not accessible to you, please use Zoom's raise hand feature. And this will just make sure that we count and acknowledge everyone who has had a thought and can move through hearing everyone's voice in this space. So that would mean in the chat, if I wanted to speak, I would write Bisma after someone else is speaking so that I can go next. And if this feels comfortable and right for you, Regina, I'm going to defer to you as setting the order of who will speak, just because I'm sharing slides right now, it's hard for me to see what is happening in the chat right now.
I am happy to help with that. Thank you.
Thank you. And so just as a reminder, you can raise your hand by using the reactions toolbar in the Zoom panel at the bottom on a computer. You can also raise your hand by typing the star key in the chat. If you are joining us from a cellular device, you can press *9 on the phone to raise your hand and *9 again to lower your hand. And I was informed that you can also raise your hand by pressing Option Y or Alt Y on a keyboard. In case you need a refresher on how to do that. And just a reminder to please mute yourself when you are not speaking. That way we don't have any feedback or echo. You can click on the participants panel and chat, as the participants shows everybody on the call, and the chat allows you to see the running dialogue during the presentation. And you can also choose to private message people in the chat by clicking on the blue everyone button and clicking down and selecting a name. But do know that I have access to the chat as one of the hosts, so don't send anything you don't want me reading. All right. And so we'll also have live transcription for the call as well. And if you would like to view the subtitles, they're automatically enabled for everyone on the call. You can also go and turn them off if they are a distraction for you in the closed caption button on the bottom of the screen by clicking on the little caret arrow on the side to see the settings for the closed captions. All right, and so with that, we're going to actually move into our check-in question. And I'm going to ask for those who were unable to share last time to step to the front and share your reflection with us. So the check-in question for today is, what is bringing you joy this week? So I'm going to stop my screen share so we can see each other. Hi, Cora. You can go.
Okay. Hello, everybody. What brings me joy is the rain that came and washed the streets down, and it's much needed, and even in our area of fire. So I'm real grateful and thankful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Cora. Would you like to pick on who goes next?
Oh, who goes next? Let's see quickly here. Oh, what about uh Josie?
Jose?
Jose turn, yeah. Jose.
Jose, can you hear us? Would you like to respond to the question? I don't think he can hear us. Maybe, let's see. Tomasita, would you like to go instead?
Sure. What's the question?
The question is, what is bringing you joy this week?
Well, I'm an Aztec drummer with Grupo Zitlali, and last night, well, first of all, we had a ceremony for all the ancestors, on November 1st, and usually it's all night long, and then we sing to the ancestors, and we make these offerings out of marigolds, and then when those offerings are finished, then they take a break, and then people put on their vestments and then Aztec dance until, for a couple of hours until the sun rises. But we couldn't do that this year. We just had the velacion, the vigil, and it was just beautiful. The children, made necklaces out of marigolds, and everybody got one, and the songs, everything was beautiful. And then last night, the local bloco had a little festival at the Horace Mann schoolyard, and man, the talent in the Mission District is beautiful. So I drummed, and there's two of us drummers, and we're both in our 70s, and we've been in the group for a long time, many decades. And so our group, we opened up the festival, and then after the opening, the other dancers left, but I like to stick around and see what's happening, And so they had these wonderful children of all, like from little ones to middle ones to high schoolers. They danced. One of the most wonderful ones was these young ladies. They were like teenagers, preteens. They came out, and they were all mostly brown girls, and brown and black, and white. and they were wearing brown, beige bodysuits and little heels, and then they were wearing these white paper gowns, like when you go to the doctor's office. And they came out, they were in a big line, and they gave their backs, so there was open in the back, you can see their bodysuits. And then they turned around, and the white paper gowns said words like fat, or overweight, or unattractive. And those are all the labels that young ladies have to deal with, And so somebody did kind of a rap, a poem or something, and then they took off the white gowns, and then they just danced really strong, good dancing in their bodysuits, like no matter what their shape was, they were asserting that they were beautiful no matter what their shape was. That was, I guess, my favorite one, but there were so many good. And so the joy is the community, all the talent that we have. We had some ladies danced tribute to Haiti, and others, there was a mariachi band, all these young people with all their matching outfits, a lot of girl musicians. It was just wonderful. And so the joy of our community, the rain too has been wonderful, but just all the talent that there is in the Mission District, it's just wonderful, the people. Thank you. I pick Maria Ciordia Ortiz to go next.
Yeah, and thank you. Hello, everyone. What it really makes me happy at this moment is that my computer, for the first time I could make it, because the first class couldn't use Zoom in the computer. Thanks to Bisma, and my grandson helped me out a little bit here too, because I downloaded like 3 or 4 times, I couldn't make it, and now I could. So that makes me extremely happy, because finally I'm going to be able to use the computer for my class. And this time of the year for me is more of a meditation and rememoration. It's more commemorate my ancestors. So more than a celebration, honestly, but it's the way I was raised. I make my little altar here at home too. And no, I didn't go out. I don't go out. Usually I stay at home and talk to my family, my mother. And but makes me happy, but in a different way, right? It's more like different. It's a good time to remember. And that makes me happy in a way. And I'm more than happy being here now, ready to try to catch up with my learning. Thank you, guys.
Maria, do you want to pick someone to go next, Lupita?
Excuse me? Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Okay. I hear the participants. All right. Cora, is Cora there?
Oh, went first already.
Yeah, she went already. Maria Luz Torre, you don't remember me, but I love you. I knew you like.
Okay, thank you.
With Padres Unidos, Mark Silverman.
Yeah.
Lupita, you don't remember
I'm gonna do
me.
my sharing.
You are.
I wrote it in chat. So I said that the rains that ended the drought and preventing wildfires brought me joy this week. And I'm gonna call on Dharma.
Hello all. Well, I'm not feeling very good today, so I'm not very optimistic. Right now I have brain block, so, but what I would say that really, really makes me happy is staying active and learning. That is the highlight of my life, being busy. But I don't feel too good. So, thank you.
Sorry to hear that you aren't feeling well, Dharma, but thank you for showing up in your full self with us. Would you like to pick on someone who goes next? And I see Angel, you've joined us. Hi, Angel. We're just sharing, going around sharing what's bringing us joy this week.
I was call someone. Leah, Lenova. Hello, calling on Lenova.
Oh, so Angel. I think that,
Lee.
It's me.
Lenova.
It's Angel.
Oh, okay, Angel.
I'll change your name for you, Angel.
Okay.
Would you like to share something that's bringing you joy this week?
I like the computer. It's so fun, and thank you for the computer and for me.
Of course. I'm glad that you're able to join us from the tablet today. All right, let's see who's left. I think Henrietta, have you gone yet?
No, I haven't. What's bringing me joy today is let's think about that. I had a really good session this morning with the peer advocate, and it was so good to hear one of the peer advocates sing. That was part of opening up the second part of the meeting, and so that was really pleasant this morning. Yes, thank you. Is there anyone else to choose, or that's it?
I think Maureen.
I can't see the participants, so maybe you will choose someone, Bisma.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Henrietta. Maureen, can you hear us?
Oh, you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Oh, there you are. Okay. Would you like to share what's bringing you joy this week?
I can go.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if Maureen, it looked like we had her for a minute, but then the audio. But yeah, you can go in the meantime, Regina.
Is that
I'm
where?
sorry.
No.
It's working now, Maureen. We can hear you.
Should I go or? Yeah, this is Maureen, and I'm really happy today to be part of this class. I'm excited about it. I tried the exercises that we did a couple days ago, and I wasn't able to do any of them, but I'm not giving up. I know that I'll catch on. And so yeah, I'm excited to be doing this, and everyone in the class looks very interesting. Next week I'll have my laptop, and you'll be able to see more of me. Okay, so thank you. And whoever is next, I guess, is Bisma. I'll let you pick. I don't know who's left. Yeah.
I'll let Regina go, and then Anna, I see your hands up, so you can go after.
I'm also happy to be a part of this course, and I'm so happy to see people showing up and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and learning new things and persevering and showing up. Because right now it's like the digital world is like plays a huge part in our world, and it has the potential to open up so many possibilities. So I'm really happy to be here and be part of this, and I'm happy that everybody is here and benefiting from it.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I guess today I had a group of about 9 people, and I lead a group that's international, people from all over the world, and it was, even though it was a horrible story, it was really wonderful to hear. I have 3 people in there from Yemen, and Yemen is totally war torn right now. So they were sharing about what's happening in Yemen right now. But it was really wonderful to have them share and to inform all of us what was going on and what they've been through. And we then made parallels within other cultures in Mexico and Central America and Brazil. So that gave me joy today, just to have a space where people could share what's really in their hearts.
Thank you for sharing that, Anna. I'm sorry I've been mispronouncing your name.
No problem.
But yeah, I will do my best to correct. This is Bisma, by the way. I need to remember to say my name before I start speaking. Well, with that, thank you everybody for sharing your reflections, and we're going to move back on to the PowerPoint. I also am going to share my moment of joy. I'm very, very grateful for my partner, because after I was busy running around making packets today, I was able to eat chicken kebabs that he got from Safeway. And so I was really happy about that. And yeah, so that's what brought me joy today. And with that, I'm going to start sharing screen again. And we're going to jump right back into digital safety.
Okay.
All right. So today we're going to dive right back in and talk about recognizing hacker tactics. So last time we talked a little bit about how to make safe passwords, things you can do to increase your defense against hacker attacks. But this part of the presentation informs you of what hackers use to hack people. So phishing is a tactic that hackers use where they send you a professionally designed email pretending to be a website or service, and usually include a website link for you to follow. So you might even see this on social media where people are pretending to be someone you know to try and get information out of you. So they typically try to appeal to your emotions. So they seem to make it like it's an urgent request, your car's expired, or something that is catastrophic, like the IRS is after. But in actuality, these entities will never contact you through phone or through email or through social media, but rather would directly mail you if there was some sort of problem with your account. And so that's important to recognize that phishing is a tactic used to cause disorder and emotional disturbance in someone to get them to click on a link, which then begins to track your activity. So that's what phishing is called. And later in a resources document at the end of the week, I will share this website called I Have Been Pawned, where you can put in your phone number or your email to see how many times there has been a data breach in your account. And this is just a good guide to give a sense of how information is traveling, that your information is traveling over websites, and to let you know that you should change your passwords or cancel accounts that you are no longer using. So I have been pawned.com without the A in the PWNED part. .com will let you see all the places there's been a data breach in your accounts. Perfect. This is the link of what it looks like for I have been pawned. All you have to do is put in an email or phone number. So I'm going to go ahead just to show you what it looks like. I'm going to put in my email and press the pawned button. So it tells me right now, pawned found one data breach right now. And it tells me how to increase my security. This is new. Prior to this, I didn't have any. And it says where my data was pawned. So Canva was the account that had a huge data breach and impacted 137 million subscribers. So I already actually knew about this because this came up the first time, and I went ahead and changed my password. But every time it'll tell me that this is information that was leaked to people I don't know. But it's very common for things to be hacked nowadays. Like this also tells you big companies like LinkedIn, Facebook, MySpace has been breached before. And it's just a good way to check to make sure your information isn't traveling past where you know. And so I will I'll put the link in the chat just in case people, but refrain from clicking it if you're unable to navigate back to the screen. But it will all come in an email at the end of the week for the course as well. So you'll be able to try that out yourself, but you can use an email, a phone number to see if your information has ever been compromised. So that is ihavebeenpawned.com. Okay, and so with that, normal text and email, so conversations that you might have over with friends on your phone or through email, is not end-to-end encrypted. So remember what I was telling you about having your data scrambled before it leaves your computer? Email and text message don't do that. And so it's very easy for access for hackers if you send any password over an email or text for them to gain access to it. And so I recommend, if you are trying to send a password or an email, to use LastPass. But if you want the feature of a text message to send that information, you can also download the app Signal to send information to friends and family. Yeah, Signal, like a blinker light Signal. And I personally love Signal because it's actually made by Black activists in the United States who are like super well versed in understanding how surveillance works, that are powering this app. So it is one that is made by the community for the community. So I would highly recommend downloading Signal. The one thing about Signal is that you can only send messages to other folks who have downloaded Signal. So your communication is limited to the number of people that have that app.
So are you saying if you're sending something to someone that's sent you, but you have their email, then you can send them something through Signal that's encrypted?
Encryption, yeah, so it's only for text messages that are encrypted.
Oh, it's for text messages?
It's for text messages.
Oh, okay. Oh, great.
Sorry, I should.
Not email, but text messages.
Text message. So yeah, normal email is not encrypted, which is why I'd say for things you would send over LastPass or Signal. So either in a text form or through LastPass account.
So how do you encrypt the email that you're sending? You just have to write encrypted and that's it?
You can encrypt an email, unfortunately.
You can't?
Which is why you should never send personal information over email. Yeah, it's something that most people don't know is that email is one of the easiest ways to get hacked.
So if you have sent anything, then what do you do from that point?
So if you have something that is sensitive and you don't want many people reading, you could send it directly to someone in a text message on Signal, asking them to download the app as well, or sending it through LastPass. So sharing that information, making a little secured note, and then sharing that information to someone else. So it's just to say that you should never put sensitive information in text in an email, but it can live elsewhere. So like a secured note document or something like that, that can work. But the minute that you put it in transit to an email is where it can get intercepted.
Did you talk about LastPass last week? I mean, Monday?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll see it on the video then. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and yeah, thank you for that question. So all the course recordings will be uploaded to a YouTube playlist, and I'll get into that in the presentation later as well. And also a reminder, if you are speaking or asking questions, to please state your name first so that our interpreters know who's talking. And then also there's certain parts that are going to be reserved to ask questions. So I'm going to save your questions until then so that I can get through the slides, because chances are your question will be answered in the coming slide as well. All right, and so yeah, so normal text and email are not encrypted. Signal is a great app to download in its place. LastPass is also a great place to have secure information.
Excuse me, I just want to ask this one more time. When you want to send something that's encrypted, you should send it through Signal?
The app, yes.
And LastPass holds all the passwords?
Yes, and it's also encrypted.
And encryption. All right. So when you're encrypting something, it's not you write encrypted on it. It's not. Okay.
It's just the process of how your data travels to someone else. So that process, it's kind of like the idea of sending mail. Do you want like to send an open mail or one that's sealed in an envelope? So yeah, so like an empty, like just an open paper would be what normal text and email are. Signal and LastPass is making sure that it's closed and only going to the recipient you want.
Okay.
Bisma, this is Maureen. I just downloaded Signal on my phone, and it says Signal would like to access all your contacts. Should I say okay or no?
Yes, because that will also let you know who's on Signal already.
Oh, okay.
That's funny, because these are kind of questions I for myself don't know how to respond to, the yeses and the nos, when it comes to not knowing what to do.
Yeah, and that's thank you for uplifting that. And I can't unfortunately anticipate everyone's question. That's why office hours and these moments are available for us to talk through the different things that might come up when you're downloading the app, and to then enhance and let me know if this is a concern that many people have, to include that in our future presentations. So thank you for both of your patience and desire to challenge and be uncomfortable by learning these new things. So thank you for that. And thank you for that question, Maureen and Dharma. All right, and so with that, we're going to talk a little bit more about best practices online. So a good thing to also note is do not log into websites from a link in an email. Sometimes you'll get an email that says, oh, log in through your Facebook or something of that sort. I would highly, highly discourage doing that or clicking on links that link you to an account, just because if that's a hacker sending an email to you and you don't know, then suddenly they have information to a lot of things that you might not be aware of. So it's just one of those things where it's do not click on links that ask you to log in from an email. Try to install software updates as soon as possible. This goes for your phone and it goes for apps that might be on your computer as well. This is just to make sure that if there are any bugs or data breaches that have affected an app, having the most up-to-date one will prevent future attacks from happening. So again, the third point is similar to the first. Do not try to log into websites via Facebook, Twitter, or email. Do not trust emails that ask for personal information, such as survey data or any information that can reveal stuff about you, no matter how professional they look. This is, again, to talk about phishing. Phishing is really common. They pose as a service for you, but unless you know the person who is sending that email and can verify their identity in another way, refrain from clicking on those links. I also discussed this on Monday, but please be aware of public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi should be treated as if everybody can see your screen on a projector. Like everyone can see it. So any sensitive information should not be dealt with on public Wi-Fi. And the last thing is for legal protection. So say, and this is especially important in terms of police brutality and our current military state in this country, thumb and face ID are not protected by law. Therefore, if you get pulled over by a cop and they ask you to unlock your phone using Face ID, they're legally allowed to do that. They're legally allowed to ask you to put your thumbprint or your fingerprint on a laptop or your phone to unlock your phone. And this is very sad and frightening news to every person who is using these sorts of devices, but it's another way for the US to continuously surveil our Black and brown populations. And so I highly recommend everybody to do not use Face ID and do not use the but rather just use a PIN number, because that's not information they can extract. So PIN numbers are the way to go. Do not use the Face ID metrics. They're often racist in nature too, because we know that the tech bros that are making these sorts of things are just white men. Just so you know, those are just my 2 cents on the issue, but for legal reasons, it's always better to use a PIN number over facial recognition or thumbprint recognition. And so now we're going to transition into talking about best practices on social media. So never share your password login information to an account that looks unfamiliar to you, or using your social media accounts to log into other websites. And the reason for this is because some social media apps, such as Twitter and Facebook, use geotagging. Geotagging is a social media service that uses GPS data, so basically navigation data from your phone or an IP address from a computer to locate your physical location. So I'll be sure, as we're going through the different social media platforms, I'll explain how to disarm this feature. So I'll go through making sure that everyone knows how to turn off the geotag. But just as another reminder, do not log in to places that ask you to create an account with a social media account that you may have. And so this might also be important if you know of like younger kids that might play on your tablets or phones or computers, making sure that they're not accepting the Facebook requests to link your accounts or to link your data. And so it's just an extra step on making sure that you are preventing virus attacks and preventing your information from getting everywhere, is to make sure that you're never logging into the Facebook or Twitter or Instagram when you are using an app, a different gaming app or anything of that sort. And so just to make sure that if you have children that are trying to download things, make sure you're rejecting those asks all the time.
Could you repeat that again? Make sure certain apps are closed while you're doing what?
So it's sometimes when you log into an app, it asks you to create an account, and it says, oh, you can link your account from Facebook. Do not use that easy feature that they present, because oftentimes it's intended to keep your data. So in order to save your data, your Facebook data from entering another app, just make a new account. Don't try to link it to your Facebook. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, at that, there are like something forms that are in your computer, like on 10, that anytime you fill out any form of application. The information is just inputted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's already there.
Yeah. You mean like autofill?
Maybe that's what it is, but on my Windows 10, it just, you know, whenever I start to fill out a form, my information on my computer is there.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so autofill, I wouldn't trust the Google features for that.
Oh, really?
Your LastPass comes in as an alternative, so it allows you to fill in that information. But I would personally reject anytime Google asks to save your information, just keep clicking no or disable those notifications, because again, Google is one of those big companies that actually sells data, consumer data. So the less information that you give Google, the better you'll be.
Okay.
And so just to wrap up the digital safety section, I have also linked in our presentation, and this will also come at the end of the week in the final email. There's actually a DIY guide to feminist cybersecurity available in both English and Spanish that walk through the basics of what I've talked about, but take it a step further with additional means of protection in case that's something you're interested in. So it goes section by section. You can look and at it at your own time and leisure, but it might give you a little bit more content to work with than this presentation did. So if you have time, I highly recommend you check out and read through this DIY guide. I've read through this guide myself 3 times in order to make this presentation.
What is the DIY?
Do it yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that pertain to? Do it yourself in this case?
It's basically like a reclaiming power kind of deal. So like do it yourself, get your security system up yourself, as opposed to relying on the government or another program to do it. So do it yourself, meaning let it be your own, what's it called, effort to protect yourself.
Okay. I made this month, I've made some major, whatever. I will talk to you about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or what do we do sometimes? It says, give, like if I want to join like YouTube, and then it says name, and then they say password. What password are they talking about? Like if you come to something that you haven't joined before, and they want your email address, and then they want a password.
No.
I'll walk through that in our YouTube presentation that's right next to after this one, in terms of the account. So don't worry, I'll get to your questions and things of that sort. But hopefully this was a good guide on how to prevent hacking attacks. But and I know that some folks might be in the mix of actually having hackers attack their accounts. And I can go in and make sure that with you one-on-one to make sure that your information that might have been breached is saved and all of that. So we can discuss that in office hours if you have personal sort of situations that have come up. Or if you want to go through the I Have Been Pawned website to see if there has been a breach, we can do that together. All right, and so with that, are there any questions? I know that Tomasita, you had the question about YouTube, but I will be sharing it in the presentation.
Isma, this is Henrietta.
Hi, Henrietta.
And the DIY guide to feminist cyber security, you said that's included someplace? You included it in the,
So I included
in the packet or?
guides, but I will send it out in an email at the end of the week as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Of course.
Bisma,
Yes,
you
darling.
mentioned, maybe you haven't gotten it there. You said never log on to Facebook.
So never log on. So sometimes when you're opening a new account, it tells you a link to Facebook. Basically, I'm saying don't do that because the minute that Facebook gets involved, which is it's one of those big companies that also we don't know what they're doing with data. It's just another check to make sure that Facebook isn't reaching another corner of your social media apps. Or
Well, and when they ask to have access to your pictures, what do you do on that issue?
so depending on how you're using your Facebook account, if you are posting, they're going to request access to your photos so that they can pull that data from your phone or your computer and put it on your social media account. That's okay if that's a risk you want to take. Most people have so many photos that it doesn't matter at this point if Facebook has access to them. But it's up to you and what you feel the most comfortable with. But for me personally, I don't have an issue with Facebook knowing my photos just because I use Facebook for my business accounts and other things of that sort. And so create content to share with other people anyway.
Thank you.
Of course.
Is there a way that you can, once you give them access, the way you can block them if you want?
So if you've already given access, you can use that ihavebeenpawned.com to see where other places your information is living, and you can cancel those accounts. And you can also, after downloading LastPass, there's a security bulletin board that tells you the health of your accounts based on the information that's in there. And so you can also, after downloading LastPass and putting in your accounts, can see places that might need to be changed in terms of passwords so that you don't have linked accounts anymore. So we can walk through actually making LastPass together if you would like as well, so that we can do that during office hours next week.
All right, next time.
Okay, perfect.
If I haven't already did it.
And Angel, I see your hands up.
I was trying to do on Zoom, but it's like I was trying to do background on the Zoom, but it's not let me do it.
So actually in 2 weeks, we're gonna have our Zoom lessons. So we'll go over how to do the backgrounds and filters and stuff like that. But I'll ask you to hold on to that thought until then, so that we can focus on digital safety right now in YouTube. Yeah. Thank you, Angel.
Welcome.
All right, and so with that, I believe we have a 5-minute bio break right now. And so with that, I'm going to ask everybody to come back at 4:13, take a break, some snacks, some water, and we'll reconvene and start our exploration of YouTube together.
Bisma, for everyone, I feel so much better. I feel like a new woman all of a sudden.
I'm not gonna be in 14 because I have another meeting.
All good. Thank you for joining us, Angel, for the time you had. All right. I'm gonna take a break too. I'm gonna run for the bathroom. Hi, Lady. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name, but we're currently on break until 4:12. And then we're gonna come back to talk about YouTube. Hello, everybody. Let's come back now so that we can get on with our gaining knowledge on YouTube.
YouTube, yay!
Let's get a reaction from folks to.
Yay, YouTube, let's get it, get it.
Yes, Elmira, hi.
Hi, Cora.
Lady, habla español? Do you speak Spanish? Because we have Spanish interpretation. Thank you, Heidi. And Cora, since you just rejoined the meeting, you'll have to click the language interpretation again. So make sure that you have selected English in the little globe icon.
Thank you. I'm on a better device now.
Yay.
I see you with your lovely background of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna start sharing my screen again. Perfect. YouTube.
All right, that's what I want.
All right, so YouTube is a free video sharing website that makes it really easy to watch online videos. So on average, there's about 100 hours of video that's uploaded to YouTube every minute, just to give a sense of the amount of people that are on YouTube. You can even create and upload your own videos to share with others. This is going to be the social media platform where our class recordings will live. So I'm recording this meeting and I recorded the past class meeting as well. And I'm compiling a playlist that everyone will be able to access to on YouTube, even if you don't have an account. And just to give you a sense, like YouTube used to not have copyright issues on them too. So when it first came out, you could watch any what's it called, movie or TV show before copyright restrictions came in. And I remember I would watch like Disney Channel because I didn't have cable on YouTube when it first came out. So it's a little one of those things that I literally grew up on. And so this is a page, the main YouTube page, and I'm going to highlight a few features that would be good to know to navigate through YouTube. So the first thing that comes up at the top is a search bar. That's what's labeled as number 1 on this slide. The search bar allows you to enter any keywords for any video that you might be searching. So you could do how to make a braid, how to find the best price on a computer, how to learn how to use Instagram, things like that. Any video, any topic you have, there's a very good chance there's already a video on it. And so on the second and third is where it's highlighted, is the sidebar panel of the YouTube accounts. So here you have the home page, which shows you any sort of featured videos that YouTube is saying, hey, based on the algorithm of the videos that you have been watching, try watching these videos. So that's the main page videos you're seeing here. You have the Explore subscriptions. So YouTube has channels and you can actually subscribe to channels if you like what they're creating. You have library, history, so you can look back at previous videos you've watched, your own videos. You can actually save videos to watch later and they'll appear in that watch later tab. Liked videos and subscriptions are on the bottom where it says number 3. So you'll see I am currently subscribed to a YouTube channel called Beauty Within, Wish Trend TV, J Mace III, Yoga with Adrienne, to give you a sense of the range of different sorts of services that are free that you could subscribe to. The thing to note though, in order for the content that you're engaging with to be saved, so in order to have a search history, in order to watch later, you'll have to create a YouTube account so that it can save that information. And so a YouTube account, all it needs is an email and a password, like Tomasita had mentioned, and that will allow you to interact with YouTube's playlists and things of that sort if you're interested in doing that. But if you just simply want to watch a video as an outsider, you can do that as well without creating an account. So this just recaps the information that I went into. The search bar is located at the top of the screen. It serves as the internal search engine within YouTube. You can search for any video that you would like. The side panel options that I ran through, and then the subscriptions are on the side. And so you can actually, once you have made an account, you can also engage with a video itself. So number 1 is you can, depending on if this is part of a playlist that the curator, the video person who uploaded, you can click either front or back with the triangle with the little line to click to different videos within a playlist. You can pause and play a video at the speed you like. There's other controls as well, which is number 2. You can turn on closed captions. So similarly, as you see a feed on the bottom where you see my words becoming transcribed written language, you can do the same for certain videos that have that feature enabled on YouTube. You can go into the settings. What's that?
Could you repeat that again? You're saying you can take a, you can make a verbal text message that, or a verbal.
It's subtitles, basically, for the okay. So that CC button enables subtitles for the video.
Okay, with the subtitles.
Yeah, and so then the little what's it called, gear icon is the settings, so you can adjust the quality of the video or the speed of the video there. And then the last 3 settings are different, like full screen or theater view. So like it just enlarges the videos in different ways so that it takes up more or less of your screen. And then the third panel that is highlighted here is other ways you can engage with the video. This one is specific to having accounts. So you can either like a video or dislike the content. You can share it. So actually, if you wanted to share a video, that's where the URL will appear that you can then copy and share in a text or an email to someone else you want to see, you want them to view the video. That's where you would do it, the share button. You can save it, which is where it would come up in the watch later playlist. And there's also 3 points next to the save that gives you more options on how to engage with a video. But these are the main features on what you can do with a YouTube video.
Could you go back and explain the paste and cut of the URL to the video, to wherever you place it?
I'll trial that after, but basically where it says the share button, when you click on it, it'll automatically show you the URL link. And all you have to do is the steps that we talked about before, where you select all of it, you Control-C to copy, and then you take it, and then in whatever device you're using, you press Control-V or paste to share it with other folks. But
Okay.
find the URL, you have to click that share button first. But I'll run through how to do that with one of our own videos for the SDU. Yeah, so this is just the written text of what I went through. I just wanted to make sure everyone had it in their notes after. And so the SDU video playlist. So I've actually linked the previous SDU. So right before this SDU, I actually did one in the summer fall time. So you can actually access our class recordings for that session in that link as well. You can also subscribe specifically to Senior Disability Action if you want to get notifications anytime we upload a video. Typically, we upload videos of class recordings like this one, or of events that SDA has put on, like the book reading series, or any sort of forums that we've participated in. We typically record and also upload it onto YouTube for other people to view. So you can also search for SR Disability Action on YouTube and find our playlist there and subscribe to it. Unfortunately, I will say that the class recording videos will only be available in English. Even though we offer simultaneous Spanish interpretation here, Zoom does not support the capability of saving interpreted language yet. I apologize for this limitation. It means that this course is not accessible to our Spanish-speaking audience at the moment. And so the current SDO link will be sent in the week after the class. So on Friday or Thursday, I will send a email with all the massive links, as well as the YouTube class playlist. You can save this playlist, you can bookmark that playlist, but that is where I will be updating information and more in YouTube videos for us to continue to go back to in case you missed that instruction the first time. I will also put the SDU playlist in.
Close that door if you want.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to mute you, Maureen. But basically, you can upload, or sorry, let me back up. I will also put the YouTube playlist link in our live class syllabus. Also, will go out in the email at the end of the week. So it's just going to be in multiple places for you to click.
Isma, this is Tomasita. I have a question.
Yes.
Right now you said to subscribe to YouTube, you put in your email address and you put in the password. Do we make up a new password?
What she said.
Do we make up a new password for YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
That will be like a password just to use with YouTube?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, all of those things. So in order to watch a video on YouTube, you don't need an account. But if you wanted to save a video, like a video, comment on a video, that's when you'll need an account. Or to subscribe to a channel such as Senior and Disability Action, you'd need an account. But yeah, the password would only be for the YouTube account that you make, nowhere else. Are there any other questions that folks have? Right. If not, I'm actually going to share a video for the SDU and go through Dharma's ask about sharing the URL. Okay, so here is our Senior and Disability Action playlist on YouTube. This is what the back end looks like for me as someone who is uploading the videos. So the screen will look different for you as a viewer. But like I said, here is the SDU social media fall 2021. Here's this SDU social media winter one, which is the one we're in. So I'm gonna click on that playlist. And this is the link that I will share with everybody so they have access to it. And so here is the video itself from the class on Monday. Thank you for that. And so if I wanted to share this with someone who I wanted to be like, hey, look at this class that I'm in, here's some content that might be useful to you, I would go down on the bottom, look at the control options where there's a like, dislike, and share button. I'd click the share. And now you see that there is all these different options on where to do it, but this is where the URL is. So all you would do is copy that URL, and now it's copied onto your computer's mouse, and I can control paste in an email if I wanted to. So I can go here, I can compose, and here is the link to our SDU class recording. And then all I would do is either right click, paste, or control P. And now that's where the link is. If anyone clicks it, it'll take them right to that YouTube video that I showed.
And you're saying that's how you share?
Yeah, that's how you share a video on YouTube.
So if you have your own YouTube channel, just go there and you cut it and you give it to someone, pretty basic.
Yeah, and you can actually, so that's one way you can share the video. Alternatively, you can go to the top toolbar search engine for the main website. So the part that's like slightly separated by this line where the toolbar is, you can actually click on the search engine itself and also this link, and it'll do the same thing. The only difference is that this is slightly longer.
Where do you paste it? Wherever you want to send it? Is that the idea?
So I could even paste it here, and it would, and you can see the difference in the length of it, but both of these links will do the same thing. It will take you to the same place. But it's just nice if you use the share button itself, because this is intended to be shared. It's short enough to share. So that's the reason why that's.
So it means you have to have emails, you have to have people to send it to, unless you're going public.
Yeah. That is the main caveat of that is that, yeah, it has to be sent to people you know.
So I have a email a YouTube account with pictures and links. I've never sent out because I didn't quite understand how.
Now you know how to share it.
Okay.
So with that, I'm going to go back to our presentation.
Bisma
has a question. What was that?
I want to ask, so what is the whole deal if you go on YouTube and you see a video that you like, and you go down at the bottom and you push share, and then you send it to someone? I mean, or you just, you know, you may send it to them in a text, or, you know, maybe email. I usually do text, and then I can just share it with anyone else that I want from, I send it to myself, and then I can send it to anyone else that I want. What is that? I mean, that seems like it's going in the back door and not doing things in a, you know, nice way.
Well, then you can put it in your share tray and keep it and then retrieve it later for use.
Yeah, for myself, or if I want to text it, I mean, I want to send it out and text to someone else, or I want to email it to someone else. You know, I don't go through all.
You can share with people directly on text through that way. You can also save this video. So if you save it, it tells you where it wants to go. Do you want it to go in your watch later category? These are just the playlists that I've made on my own account, but I could put it to watch later. And so then when you go back to the home screen, when you click YouTube's top icon there, you would be able to see it in your watch later section.
Oh, so you could set that up like a watch later for all your videos. Then you'll be able to retrieve them at a later date, easier.
Yes.
Wow. Mm. I always thought the watch later and like was you watch later,
Yeah.
but you actually watch it now for now, and then save it and pass out the link.
Yeah, so you can either link, share it with your network with the people you want. You can also save the video to then watch at another time.
Okay, I'm getting closer.
Yay! Are there any other questions about YouTube? All right, and so then next we'll move into announcements then. And so I included this section in our PowerPoint slides because I know that a lot of you are involved with different campaigns and initiatives in senior and disability action. And so I wanted to give you a platform to share the work you're involved in and to see if you want to invite other people. Not to put you on the spot, but Elmira and Lupita, I know that both of you participated in a free Wi-Fi action in the Mission AT&T store and asked to have your demands met as if you want to share.
Yeah, we went yesterday, but just the three of us, Dasom, Lupita, and I. But the manager, he's nice. He gave us some telephone number to call. But we tried to call, but the Dasom said that it's useless. So we're going to go to another AT&T store next Monday. That's why I cannot join your class. Every Monday we go. Oh, no. I think it's Tuesday now. I don't know.
Now it's Tuesday action. Yeah, it was changed because of the class. We appreciate that.
For talking to us about it, but yeah, so I think we're gonna actually move the action base to Tuesday so that people can go to that. Lupita, I'm gonna mute you because there's some static that's coming back. Okay, perfect. And so thank you for sharing, both of you. But yeah, so for the free Wi-Fi campaign is an initiative at Senior Disability that is intended to get free Wi-Fi for the whole of San Francisco and the East Bay area.
Siyempre, may love life, no? May love life din naman siya. Mabiyaan mo na, may love life.
All right, Alina, I'm gonna mute you and Lupita, I'm gonna mute you. Okay, sorry about that. There's a lot of feedback that we're getting from the videos. But yeah, so basically Elmira and Lupita are part of the planning committee for the free Wi-Fi campaign, and they are doing mini actions every Tuesday to get the different AT&T stores and to present our demands to get free Wi-Fi for all of San Francisco and the Bay Area.
I can share a little bit about what's happening with SDA in the East Bay.
Yeah, please do. Are you unmuted to say something?
Pardon me?
I don't know if she was unmuting to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go for it, Regina. You've got the spotlight.
Oh, I didn't mean to overstep with Lupita. Okay. Thank you. So when the beginning of COVID, Bay Resistance, Casa Justa, and SDA helped to found and support the Cross Bay Mutual Aid Project, run by coordinators across 4 counties: Contra Costa County, San Mateo County, Alameda County, and San Francisco County. They built up a network of almost 1,400 members who are giving or receiving rides to get groceries or even paying for groceries, home care assistance with light tasks around cooking and laundry, a phone buddy system to speak to the isolation that seniors and people with disabilities were experiencing with shelter in place, and a monolingual Spanish-speaking team. And so the funds have all but dried up for groceries. And so now we have been transitioning the majority of our members into external resources into the community for food. And as we know, there are issues around food for people with disabilities and seniors around the food not being culturally specific, people having dietary restrictions. So we have been looking at the food chain and what needs to happen between all this good food from like these grocery stores like Trader Joe's and Nob Hill and Whole Foods. And why is it not getting into, or should I say, on the plates of people who really need healthy, high quality food? So there is a California law that just passed, SB 1383, that speaks to and demands that grocery stores and other food distribution sites like Costco and Sam's Club no longer dispose of or compost their waste, but make sure it gets into the hands of people. So we are looking at that right now, still doing some research and power mapping around that to see how we can put pressure on those grocery stores and big, huge corporations like Amazon and Whole Foods to be responsible and create policy and practices that will reinvigorate and mend the food supply chain so that their excess is not being thrown away and it is being put in the hands of people who need the food. And I am personally invested in this. I worked for Whole Foods for 10 months and I worked in the food preparation department.
Thank you so much for sharing that update. Is there any way folks can get involved if you want to share that information?
Yes, we have a campaign planning meeting twice monthly on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Tomorrow it will be at 3 p.m. just this one time. And so we are coming together as a group and working on those logistics. And I can drop the Zoom link in the chat if people want to attend. And if there's a better way that I can send it out as well, Bisma, if you would let me know, I would be happy to do that as well.
Yeah, we can
a way that is more accessible for people.
We can share it with the emails that folks registered with in the class, if that is useful.
Yes, I can do that. Okay.
Thank you for that update. Is there anyone else that has an announcement that they'd like to share?
No, but since we're on the campaign issue, me and Cara also did a video, or you are aware of that. So where is that going? Is that, what's up with that?
Yeah, so yes, thank you for that. So Lupita, Joy, Dharma, and Cora supported the free Wi-Fi campaign by making Zoom videos in our previous SDU class. And so those videos were actually used to support the protest that happened at the AT&T store a few Mondays ago. And so it was in our social media promotion and how we were getting the word out to people on the issue and getting the faces of the people who are involved in the campaign. So I can share those videos with you as well. And maybe
when we start talking about campaigning, it's in terms of campaigning, if you say, how do we get the message out to the overall communities, not just a few communities, but all the communities, being inclusive in that we're doing.
That's important. I have more thoughts on how to do that, but it went on all our social media platforms, so Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter accounts, to allow people to share those links wherever they needed to go. But we're gonna, in our coming weeks too, when we're talking about those different platforms, we'll be hearing from community presenters on their tactics on how they try to get the message out to people. So yeah, so those are.
Could we also look into group settings? Because I get links from various groups that that I could participate in, but I don't know how to get my pictures to them.
Yes, we can definitely go through that. So we'll go through the different features on Facebook, especially with groups, and we'll actually make a group chat amongst the people in the class, so that you can share information and ask questions after class time as well, and try to help each other co-learn too. So we'll set all of that and that foundation up together. And so it's Facebook, so that'll be the first app we tackle together.
All right, thank you.
And then I see that Tomasita has written something in the chat, and I'll read it out loud. This is Tomasita Medal. I am working on JFK Drive in Golden Gate Park, open to everyone, including those who need to use a car to access the park. If you want to help me, please contact me. And then they gave their phone number, 415-629-5044, or Tomasita Medal, TOMASITAMEDAL @gmail.com, so that elders and those with disabilities may have equal access to Golden Gate Park. Thank you. Perfect. And are there any other announcements that folks have? All right, if not, then I'm gonna go into the class.
Maybe I should invite people to the Tuesday's actions with DASOM. That'd be a good idea. It's gonna be at 1 p.m. in different locations. It's 5 locations here in the city. So we're gonna document like yesterday wasn't that much of us, but we had a response, and she wants to keep all that in order to put pressure to people of ability. So please go to DASOM, that I don't have the number here right now, maybe in my phone. Do you want me to give the phone number?
I can forward that information to the free Wi-Fi campaign number. So
thank you.
Email me, Bisma, BISMA, @sbaction.org. I can tell you the different locations that the free Wi-Fi campaign is going to go to put pressure on AT&T after the big rally. Involved, they're going to be Tuesdays at 1 p.m. at different AT&T locations.
Thank you, Bisma. I have problems listening to you with my computer. Something might be wrong. I tried to go through the audio, but it says that it's via phone or something like that. But this is a computer. So I can you very well.
Yeah, because it might be an issue with the computer's internal speaker hardware. So you might need to use your phone as a speaker and audio.
I
But
see.
I'll walk you through how to do that in the future. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We'll do it in office hours too.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Lupita. And so, yeah, if you would like to get involved with the free Wi-Fi rally little actions, feel free to email me and I will put you in contact with them. And I know we have quite a lot of folks here who are from Oakland as well. So maybe we can even start thinking about going to an AT&T store in Oakland with our group of people here. But that's a conversation maybe for next week to see.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. And so I'm going to share the slides one last time so that I can talk through the different tasks that we have for this week. The asks for today, based on the presentation, is first to check to see if your accounts have been reached using that website that I had mentioned before. Have I been pond.com? So have I been, but pond doesn't have an A in it. So it's HAVEIBEEN PWNED.com. And I'll be sure to send this in an email as well so that you have these tasks and the links. But when you click on that, that is the website you can put your emails or your phone number to see if your account has ever been breached by a hacker through a company. And a reminder that if you do notice a hack, if it does tell you to please go and change the password of that account. Next task is to search for the Senior and Disability Action channel on YouTube. And if you have an account and want to make an account, to subscribe to our channel. And so then that leads to the third task, which is to find our first SDU video from day one and to leave a comment to let me know that you have been there and that you saw where the location of our playlist is. So these are going to be the three main tasks for this class. But if you do not want to make a YouTube account, that's okay. You don't have to do the final, the third task. But I do want you to visit the playlist and see where it is so that you know where you go if you missed a day in class and want to get caught up on the material. So those are the tasks.
You said 3 places to go. Oh, SDA. I got it. So 3 places.
Yeah. And I can drop them in the chat as well, if that is useful. Does anyone have any questions?
This is Tomasita. Can you send us the links in the email afterwards?
Mm-hmm. So every week at the end of the class days, I'm going to send an email that recaps all of the important links that were shared during the course from Mondays and Wednesdays. Yeah, perfect. And so with that, we ended a little early. We got through the big meat of the presentation. And so thank you for bearing with me through the first week of the class. If you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to share them with me in the last 9 minutes that we have together. But if not, you're free to leave earlier if you want. But thank you for being the guinea pigs for our social media one-on-one course.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you.
Regina, you're muted if you're trying to talk.
Dharma,
Yeah,
did you want to talk about websites and stuff?
yes. Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Can I give you my email and then you email me and we set up some time in the office on one of these days?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Regina?
Where's the office?
Oh, I just meant online
Okay, fine.
during the office hours of the class.
Okay, fine. Then that'll be around 2 o'clock,
Yeah, 2:30.
2:30. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Next upcoming meeting.
Regina at sdaction.org.
Okay. All right.
And we'll figure out a day, like next Monday or Wednesday or.
Okay, so you mean outside the class, you'd like me to contact, this is your Regina at fda.org.
Yeah, and look at the syllabus and see what day you want to come early and let me know. And then maybe you can tell me, you can write down what you want to learn, what you want to know about, so I can get that
I want
information.
to do more presses on WordPress.
So
I have a WordPress channel, a station or whatever. And
yeah, I'm not versed in
Oh, you did?
WordPress.
Okay. Well, pretty basically, that's what I need.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of any type of Facebook, whatever, I need help in those areas as well.
So maybe we can still talk and just like figure it out.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So send me an email, please. I'd be happy to help.
I definitely will.
Okay.
Thank you very much. How are you doing today, Cara?
I'm doing great.
You sound strong and great.
Yeah, this is very interesting information. And yeah.
We'll say something that we all need.
Huh?
And we'll say something that we all need.
Right, absolutely.
Well, it's been a pleasure, ladies. See you next time.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Elena, Heidi.
Thank you.
Bye.
Very good.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. Bye, Lupita.
Bye-bye, Lita. Take care.
Bye.